Hi, I'm Suzanne from Making It in Maine. I am doing some fermenting of vegetables today. I will show you the cucumbers, the lacto-fermented cucumbers that are already in the works. I'll show you that right here. I would love to be sowing, but I went out to the garden this morning and picked a bunch of cucumbers, and I am now in the process of making lacto-fermented New York style pickles. And I'm also going to make some lemon dill kraut. I have never made it before, but saw the recipe and read a little bit about it, and oh my goodness, it sounds fantastic. Let me show you the book. This is where the pickles are hiding while the fermentation process takes place. I keep health food store items in here like chia seeds and psyllium husk and millet and things like that. And on the bottom shelf, that's where the 3 jars of pickles are doing their thing. Now I am working on making some lemon dill kraut. And in the, I've got to grab my cutting board. In the cookbook, I don't know, yeah, recipe book, I wouldn't call that a cookbook. This is the book I'm using. And in it, when it's talking about the kraut, the lemon dill kraut, there's a cute little story in there about how a customer emailed them to say that their son had written a letter to Santa. I don't remember how old the son was, obviously young if he's writing a letter to Santa. And he wanted 2 things for Christmas: a bathrobe and a jar of lemon dill kraut. So I love lemon and I love dill, so I'm excited, super excited to try this. And I did not get cabbage in the garden this year, and I can't remember why. I think I picked something up by mistake. But anyway, so my husband picked these up at the health food store this morning, and it's not the greatest looking cabbage. So I am just pulling the bad leaves away and chucking them in the sink for now. And I will have to cut that bad spot away and hope it doesn't go too deep, and it doesn't seem to be. So I need 3 pounds of cabbage for this recipe. So I have, he picked up 2 cabbages, but I have 1/2 of a cabbage that was left over in the fridge. So I am going to use that along with this. I'm saving a few leaves, setting aside a few leaves in case I need them for the top of the kraut. I've only made kraut one other time, And it came out really nicely. I loved it. So, but I'm super excited to try this recipe. Yeah, are you a kraut lover or not? One of my favorite sandwiches is a Reuben. Not eating bread makes it a little harder to enjoy a Reuben. And I don't buy corned beef cabbage on the regular, and I don't buy pastrami. So it makes it hard to have a regular old Reuben, but I do like a tempeh Reuben, and I will often use an almond wrap for that. This something smells perfumey. I don't know what it is. I have a very sensitive nose. I do not like chemical smells. So, yeah, this should give me the weight I need. I'm now going to use my little Pampered Chef mandolin. I have another larger one, an OXO1. I think I've mentioned that in another video. So I'm going to shred my cabbage. And after I shred it, I have to massage it. I'll come back after I'm done my shredding. My cabbage is all shredded. I gave up on the mandolin. Just so much easier for me to just use a knife and thinly slice it. So that's what I have done. And now I'm going to add the salt, sprinkle. Let me turn you over this way. Sprinkle the salt. You don't want to get it too salty. So I'm not going to put the full amount. So there's that. Here's the 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'm using a shot glass for that. And now I need the dill. 1 to 2 tablespoons. I love dill, so I think I'm going to start with a whole tablespoon. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I think I will. I'm just going for it. All right, and now I just have to massage. Okay, lots of massaging. Lots of massaging now. It's going to take a while. So you're massaging the cabbage to soften it, to help it release its liquid content. I'll tell you, I forgot to, I'm sometimes so bad at fully reading directions before I start something, and looking back over the recipe, I was supposed to rinse the cabbage in cool water, which I didn't do. So I think it'll be fine. Have you ever made a kale salad? If you have, or if you have not, that's something you massage too, because the cabbage, because the kale can be pretty tough. I've got some kale out in my garden that I need to harvest and use before the insects take it away. Whoa. So the cabbage is already decreasing in volume. It's decreasing. It's not filling up the bowl as much. It's not filling up the bowl as much. Not seeing too much liquid releasing yet. So unlike the pickles I did earlier, you make a brine for the pickles, but for this, the cabbage just sort of creates its own brine. I think I will go read the recipe again, but yeah. I have bought kraut, various types of kraut from health food stores, and well, there's one you can get at my local grocery store, and this one particular company, they do not have enough brine in their kraut jars, and so if they stay in the fridge for a while after you open them, they start getting a little moldy on the top, which is not cool because they're not inexpensive to buy. Let's see. I wish my page in my recipe book was turned, because under the lemon dill kraut recipe it says follow the instructions for naked kraut. Well, that's on the previous page, and I'm not on that page, and my hands are not exactly conducive to turning a page in a recipe book. Okay, I'm starting to see a little bit of juice in there. I think I'm going to have to clean my hands off. Should have gotten a spoon out of my drawer too. I think I'll grab that butter knife over in the dish drainer and scrape my hands off, because I really want to see also if I need to add more salt and probably not more dill, because I added the full amount. I want to give it a taste too, so I guess I've gotten most of it off. I don't need to use the butter knife, but I will do a rinse. And turn the page. When the cabbage is glistening, all right, hold on. When the cabbage is glistening and you have a small pool of liquid in the bottom, mix in the garlic. Ooh, I forgot about the garlic. Got to have two cloves of garlic. Wet and limp, the liquid will begin to pool. If you put in a good effort and don't see much brine in the bowl, let it stand covered for 45 minutes and then massage again. Let's see. I would guess that is maybe quarter of a cup, potentially a third of a cup, but wonder if I should do that. Wait 45 minutes then. Let me taste. I taste dill, but I don't really taste a whole lot of lemon. But I don't know that I should add more. I think I will let this sit a little while, wash some dishes, and maybe massage again. I am back ready to put the kraut in my fermentation jar. This is a Kilner jar. So here I go. It says to pack it in a handful at a time. I could probably be using a smaller jar, but yeah. So I'm gonna pack it down. Let's see. Pack it down to get any air bubbles out. These are my favorite kitchen tools. Clean hands. Handful at a time, packing as I go. This has a good amount of brine that has been released. Oh, I also added, I think it was four finely grated garlic cloves. So I used my microplane, my lemon zester microplane for that. Can't wait to see how this tastes after it's done its thing. Looking forward to tasting the pickles too. I have had this fermenting jar for a few years, and I am just now getting around to using it. Is there a movie called Girl Interrupted? Sometimes things happen in our lives, kind of interrupt our plans or our daily flow, and yeah, so that's what happened. All right, I've got a bunch of juice to dump in there, so pardon me for a minute while I do that. Okay. Give it another push. Oh yeah, look at all that juice. Can you see it? I'm pleased with how it is so far, so I hope that I will be, oops, kitties. How come I don't have an apron on? Yeah, I'm pleased with how it has turned out so far. So, I hope I will be equally pleased. Gonna put some cabbage leaves in just to keep it all tamped down. Let's see, I think I'll rip that to keep it all underneath. And then I have a couple of porcelain weights to put in on top to keep things from rising up above the brine. So there, that looks good. Now, put the cover on. I'll get a paper towel to wipe the rim. rinse my hands since I'm done. Sorry for the noise. Rinse my hands. Wipe the jar. Okay. Put the cover on. And then it gets this thing on. It's called an airlock. Oops. So that goes down in the opening of that. And then you pour water in until the floaty thing pops up. I think that's as far as it's gonna go. Oop, there we go. And now I put the lid on that, which has little holes. I don't really understand what the water does, what that's all about. But anyway, hope I didn't fill that thing too full. All right, so now I just have to put it in a dark place and let it do its thing. That's the short little video today. I hope you enjoyed watching my very first time using my fermentation jar. And yeah, I'll let you know how it turns out. I am about to try my fermented veggies, my kraut, my lemon and dill kraut that I just transferred from my big jar to these two more manageable jars that fit in the refrigerator better. And I'm going to try the New York style fermented pickles. So I will confess, I have already had several forkfuls of this and I felt like I couldn't stop eating it or didn't want to stop eating it. It is super delicious. I feel like once I start eating, I don't want to stop. Can you hear the crunch? It's very crunchy. Crazy good. I was a little nervous about trying it because the cabbage leaves that I put on top to keep the shredded cabbage, the kraut, from coming up above the brine had gotten a little brownish. So that made me a little nervous. So I pulled those out and just left the porcelain weights in to keep it down. But so that discoloration made me nervous, and I worried that the color of the brine was, I don't know, not, the color made me a little nervous. But anyway, I think it's super delish. If I get sick, I'll let you know, but I don't think I will. Super, super delish. So now we will try the pickles. And these I made. They do have a weird look to them. They almost look like they got frozen. And they kind of feel like they did too. Our second refrigerator in the basement does weird things. It'll sometimes freeze things on the top shelf. So yeah, these feel like they got frozen. Look at the difference. I'm gonna drip on the floor if I do this, but let's see. This one seems greener. This one is more yellowy and almost translucent. So I don't know if that's just from the whole process, but this one feels spongy. I don't know. I should check the other jars in the basement, but I think I will slice this one in half and see what I think. Yeah, I think it got frozen. Can you see that? The flesh just is not uniform. I think it got frozen. I'm still going to taste it, I think. It tastes fine. Tastes fine. I can taste some cloves in the pickling spice. I love cloves. The reason I wanted to make these with big fat pickles is because of the pickle sandwich craze in a deli in New York City. If I already mentioned this in a previous video when I was making these, or earlier, and if I already mentioned this earlier in the video, I beg for your forgiveness, but I am filming this obviously several days after making the pickles and kraut because they had to sit for a while. So it's been a week, actually. I made them last week, and so I'm gonna hollow this out and put some sliced turkey and some avocado and some mustard, and I'm gonna see how it is. Gonna scrape out the seeds and see what I think of it as a sandwich, as a vehicle for the sandwich, as a bread substitute. So that is it for this video about fermenting. I don't know if fermenting is anything you want to give a try, give a whirl, but fermented veggies are good for our gut bacteria. Yeah, they are a food probiotic, adding good bacteria to our gut, because we have to have a balance of good and bad. Yeah, some bad, a little bad, a lot of good. Because I was talking about the pickle sandwich, and the reason that I made these great big fermented pickles was so I could try making a pickle sandwich. So I have, let me tip you down here. I hollowed out my pickle, and I have a slice of turkey, organic turkey meat. I have a beautiful avocado, so I'm going to put oh, you know what? First, I want to do a little squirt of Dijon mustard. Actually, before I do that squirt, I want a little smear of mayo. avocado mayo, because I don't want mayonnaise made with those awful industrial seed oils. All right, little smear of that. Sorry for the noise. A little bit of Dijon, little blobs here and there. I shouldn't have thrown my knife so quickly into the sink. Now I will put my avocado slices into my pickle sandwich. Oops. I love avocado, so I think I will have one more slice. That is a beautiful avocado. You know how sometimes you cut into an avocado and it's just awful. It's got the brown spots. I'm gonna grab, after I rinse my fingers, I'm going to grab a few beautiful from our garden sun gold cherry tomatoes, my very, very favorite cherry tomato variety. My husband always said he likes the red ones better. I'm like, how could that be? So I recently did a taste test with him. I had him shut his eyes. I put a red one in his mouth and let him chew that. Then I put a sun gold in his mouth and let him chew that. And then I asked him which one he liked better. And it was the sun gold. So if you have a farmer's market near you, if you have an opportunity to get some lovely sun gold cherry tomatoes, I highly recommend it. Okay, here's my pickle sandwich. These videos seem to be turning into food eating. You watching me eat. Now, this could go down in a very messy way. I could end up with mayonnaise or mustard under my nose. Perhaps I'd better get a napkin, a paper towel. Years ago, my parents and I and my husband went to a graduation party for my nephew. And my dad made an open-faced sandwich. Mayonnaise was on the top. This was, when my dad was in his certainly late 70s, maybe early 80s. I can't quite remember, and my dad had a good sized nose. Good sized nose. Anyway, he took a bite of his open-faced sandwich, and unbeknownst to him, he had this big old glob of mayonnaise under his nose. I had to tell him about it. My husband and I still refer to it to this day. And yeah, it was just funny and crazy. All right, here I go. My first ever pickle sandwich. It'd be good if I had some bacon on here too. That is good. That is yummy. I almost think I'd like it better with just the veg and the condiments. It's okay with the turkey, but I think I'd like it better without. But either way, it's very yummy. So, dear ones, from my heart to yours, I hope to see you back here soon. If you like what you're seeing on my channel, you could hit the like button. If you want to support my endeavors, my hoping to become a full-time maker and YouTube content person, you can subscribe to my channel. You have to log in to do that. To subscribe, you also have to log in to comment. So I would dearly love it if you would do those things. If you want to share with someone else who might enjoy what I'm doing on this Making It in Maine channel, that would be great. So, as I said, from my heart to yours, bye for now.